When it comes to nutrition in our golden years, vegetables are often regarded as some of the healthiest foods we can include in our diets. Rich in vitamins, minerals and fiber, they form the backbone of a well-balanced plate. However, not all vegetables are suitable for everyone, especially elderly people who may have specific medical conditions or dietary restrictions. While it's rare for vegetables to be outright forbidden, some should be consumed with caution or avoided altogether by seniors, depending on their health status. Let's explore 5 vegetables that might not be ideal for all elderly individuals, and the reasons why certain people in this age group should consider limiting or excluding these from their diets. First on the list are nightshade vegetables, and chief among them is the humble eggplant. Nightshades, which include eggplant, tomatoes, peppers, and potatoes, contain a compound known as solanine. While solanine is not dangerous for most people in the amounts found in these vegetables, some elderly individuals, particularly those who suffer from joint pain, arthritis, or inflammatory disorders, report worsened symptoms after consuming nightshades. The reason may be a sensitivity to solanine, which, in rare cases, can exacerbate inflammation and joint discomfort. Moreover, eggplant also contains oxalates, which contribute to kidney stone formation. Since kidney stones tend to be a greater risk as people age, especially for those with a history of stones or reduced kidney function, it may be advisable for susceptible seniors to limit their eggplant intake. Next, we turn our attention to raw cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli, cabbage, kale, and Brussels sprouts. These vegetables are celebrated for their cancer-fighting and heart-healthy nutrients, but when eaten raw, they can be problematic for elderly individuals with certain thyroid issues. Cruciferous vegetables contain goitrogens, substances that interfere with the production of thyroid hormones by blocking iodine uptake. In most cases, consuming these vegetables in moderation poses no problem, especially when they are cooked, which reduces goitrogenic activity. However, for elderly individuals already suffering from hypothyroidism or those taking thyroid medication, large quantities of raw cruciferous vegetables may interfere with the delicate balance of their thyroid health. In such cases, it is best to moderate consumption and prefer cooked forms where possible. Spinach, the third vegetable on our list, is another beloved green often praised for its impressive nutrient profile. Rich in iron, magnesium, and vitamins, it's easy to see why spinach maintains its superfood status. However, like eggplant, spinach is also high in oxalates. For seniors with a history of kidney stones, especially those prone to calcium oxalate stones, excessive spinach consumption can increase the risk of recurrence. Additionally, spinach contains vitamin K, which can interfere with blood-thinning medications like warfarin. Elderly individuals taking such medications should be particularly cautious, as sudden increases in vitamin K intake can reduce the effectiveness of these medicines, potentially leading to dangerous blood clotting. It's not necessary to avoid spinach entirely, but regulating how much and how often it is eaten is often recommended. Fourth on our list, we find beets and beet greens. Beets are vibrant root vegetables that are high in nutrients, but they also come with a unique caveat. Beets are naturally high in nitrates, which, once metabolized in the body, can lower blood pressure. While this effect is actually beneficial for many, for elderly individuals who are already on blood pressure medication or who have low blood pressure, consuming large amounts of beets may lead to hypertension. In rare circumstances, too much nitrate can also result in a condition known as methemoglobinemia, where the blood's ability to carry oxygen is impaired, though this is more common in infants than in the elderly. Furthermore, like spinach, beet greens are quite high in oxalates. To minimize risks, elders with kidney issues or blood pressure sensitivities should consider limiting their intake of beets and beet greens, or consult a healthcare provider before making them a dietary staple. Last, we come to canned or pickled vegetables. Think canned green beans, pickled cucumbers, and sauerkraut. While not a specific vegetable itself, the method of preparation makes a significant difference. Canned and pickled vegetables tend to be very high in sodium, as salt is used both for flavor and preservation. For the elderly population, excessive sodium intake is a leading contributor to high blood pressure, fluid retention, and a worsening of heart and kidney conditions. High salt diets are also associated with a greater risk of stroke and exacerbation of osteoporosis due to increased calcium loss in the urine. For seniors who are managing hypertension or congestive heart failure, avoiding heavily salted vegetables is essential. Opt for fresh or frozen vegetables instead, or if canned is the only option, choose those with low or no added salt and always rinse before eating. So, does this mean vegetables are off the table for the elderly? Absolutely not. Vegetables remain a cornerstone of a healthy diet at every age. The key is personalizing food choices based on individual health needs. For those with arthritis, limiting nightshades like eggplant may help reduce discomfort. If you're taking thyroid medication, enjoy cruciferous vegetables cooked and in moderation. For seniors with a history of kidney stones, watch your intake of spinach and beet greens. If you're managing blood pressure, be cautious with beets. And for anyone watching their salt intake, steer clear of canned or pickled varieties whenever possible. Before making dietary changes, it's best to consult with a healthcare provider or a registered dietitian, especially if you have chronic health conditions or take medications that require careful management of nutrients like vitamin K or sodium. By staying informed and making thoughtful choices, you can continue to enjoy the benefits of vegetables while minimizing potential health risks. Remember, balance and moderation are the keys to maintaining health and vitality as we age. With a little care and knowledge, there's still a whole garden of options to explore. When it comes to nutrition, nuts are widely praised for their health benefits. High in healthy fats, protein, vitamins, and minerals, they are an integral part of many balanced diets. However, for elderly individuals, certain types of nuts may pose challenges or even health risks. The aging body brings changes: slower digestion, weaker teeth, more delicate digestive tracts, and increased prevalence of specific health conditions such as diverticulitis, nut allergies, or trouble swallowing. The impact of various nuts on the body can vary greatly, and some should be approached with caution as we age. Let's explore 5 types of nuts that the elderly should ideally avoid or consume with caution, and analyze how each can affect the aging body. First on the list are Brazil nuts. While Brazil nuts are famous for their high selenium content, providing well over the recommended daily value in a single nut, this is precisely where the danger lies. For elderly individuals, the risk of selenium toxicity becomes significant, especially if they are taking other dietary supplements. Selenium toxicity can cause symptoms like gastrointestinal distress, hair loss, fatigue, irritability, and even nerve damage in severe cases. The elderly are at a higher risk of accumulating excessive minerals because kidney function declines with age, making it harder to filter out excessive nutrients. Moreover, the high fat content of Brazil nuts can be tough for those with slower digestion or existing gallbladder issues. For these reasons, Brazil nuts should be consumed only in moderation, if at all, by older adults. Pistachios are another nut that can be problematic. While generally healthy, pistachios are small, hard, and often consumed roasted and salted. For seniors with reduced dental health, chewing tough nuts like pistachios can result in fractured or chipped teeth, loose fillings, or general mouth discomfort. In addition, the highly salted varieties pose a risk to older adults with hypertension or heart conditions, as excess sodium intake is associated with increased blood pressure and fluid retention. Hard-to-chew foods also increase the risk for choking or aspiration, particularly for those who have weakened throat muscles or difficulties swallowing due to conditions such as stroke or Parkinson's disease. The fiber in pistachios can be excellent for gut health, but in some elderly people with compromised digestive tracts, especially those suffering from diverticulitis, the roughage and nut skins can sometimes aggravate symptoms. Macadamia nuts, while delicious and packed with healthy fats, present a few subtle risks to the elderly as well. Macadamias have a very high fat content, even by nut standards. For people with aging digestive systems, fats can take longer to break down, sometimes triggering gastrointestinal upset or loss of appetite. Overconsumption may lead to weight gain, which in turn increases the risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and mobility issues, conditions more likely to develop or worsen with age. Additionally, macadamia nuts can be quite hard, presenting another chewing challenge for those with dental issues. While rare, macadamia nuts might also interact with certain medications, particularly those processed by the liver, as high fat loads can alter drug metabolism. Elderly individuals with existing gallbladder or pancreatic concerns may also find that macadamias worsen their symptoms. Almonds are a favorite for many due to their satisfying crunch and nutritional profile. However, their tough texture can create real dangers for elderly individuals with sensitive teeth or dentures. Raw whole almonds, in particular, are difficult to chew and swallow. This can lead to dental injuries, choking, or aspiration. Almond skins are high in insoluble fiber, which can sometimes irritate older digestive tracts, especially if a person is not used to a high-fiber diet or is suffering from disorders like irritable bowel syndrome or diverticulosis. Moreover, almonds often come roasted and salted, which, similar to pistachios, can contribute to excessive sodium intake. For those who experience kidney problems, the substantial phosphorus and potassium content in almonds could be harmful, as the kidneys may struggle to regulate these minerals, possibly leading to imbalances with serious health implications. Cashews are another nut to approach with care. Unlike many other nuts that are technically seeds, cashews are harvested in a way that leaves a natural toxin, urushiol, in the raw nut, which can cause severe reactions. While commercial cashews are roasted to remove this toxin, individuals with hypersensitive systems may still experience allergic-like symptoms or gastrointestinal upset. Cashews are comparatively higher in carbohydrates than other nuts, which means they can influence blood sugar levels more sharply. For elderly individuals with diabetes or pre-diabetes, rapid blood sugar swings increase the risk of hypoglycemia or hyperglycemia. Cashews are also dense and somewhat sticky, making them a riskier option for seniors with swallowing difficulties. Finally, like most nuts, salted cashews can add up quickly in sodium, posing another risk for heart and kidney health. In summary, while nuts can be a nutritional powerhouse, it's critical to recognize the unique challenges they may present for aging bodies. Brazil nuts can easily lead to selenium overdose. Pistachios and almonds, hard-textured and often salted, are difficult to chew and may worsen dental problems or cardiovascular issues. Macadamia nuts bring a load of fats that may tax the older digestive system and interact poorly with certain conditions and medications. Cashews, with their potential allergens and blood sugar impact, can introduce unnecessary risks for sensitive seniors. For the elderly who enjoy nuts and can safely digest them, it is vital to choose forms that minimize risk. Opt for raw, unsalted varieties in sliced or chopped forms rather than whole, hard nuts. Nut butters can be an excellent alternative, though they too should be unsweetened and unsalted, and eaten in moderation. Drinking plenty of fluids while eating nuts can help digestion and swallowing, but all nut consumption should take individual health concerns, medications, and mouth health into account. Consulting a healthcare provider or registered dietitian is the best way to personalize dietary decisions, ensuring the many benefits of nuts can be enjoyed without unintended health complications. By understanding how each type of nut interacts with the aging body, seniors can make informed, safe choices, leading to not only better nutrition, but also greater peace of mind. Maintaining good health in one's later years is not just about treating illnesses as they arise. It's about embracing a proactive approach to wellness that includes a range of habits, checks, and lifestyle choices. As individuals age, their bodies and minds undergo changes that require increased attention. And while some changes are inevitable, many health concerns can be managed, delayed, or even avoided with mindful action. Understanding what cannot be ignored for better health is, therefore, a crucial aspect of aging gracefully and living fully. One of the most essential things the elderly should never overlook is regular medical checkups. Preventive care is more valuable than ever in these years. Regular screenings for blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, vision, and hearing can help detect problems early, when they're often more treatable. Vaccinations, such as annual flu shots and pneumonia vaccines, play a critical role in reducing the risk of serious illness. Consulting with a primary care physician for ongoing monitoring of existing health conditions and to discuss any changes, no matter how minor they may seem, is a cornerstone of elderly wellness. Nutrition is another pillar that cannot be ignored. As metabolism slows and the body's requirements change, elderly individuals must pay particular attention to their diets. Adequate hydration, sufficient protein, calcium, vitamin D and fiber are all important. Every meal should ideally include colourful fruits, leafy greens, lean proteins and whole grains, while keeping sodium, sugar and saturated fats in check. For those with difficulty chewing or swallowing, or with chronic illnesses that limit what they can eat, working with a nutritionist can help tailor an appropriate meal plan. Physical activity is as vital now as ever, though the way in which it is practiced may need to adapt. Gentle, regular exercise, such as walking, swimming, yoga, or stretching, promotes mobility, strengthens bones, maintains muscle mass, and even sharpens the mind. It's important to choose activities that are safe and enjoyable while considering any limitations due to arthritis or heart conditions. Even simple exercises to improve balance and flexibility can dramatically reduce the risk of falls, which are a leading cause of injury among older adults. Speaking of safety and injury prevention, fall risk cannot be underestimated. The home environment plays a substantial role in preventing accidents. Removing tripping hazards like loose rugs, ensuring that walkways are clear, adding grab bars in bathrooms, and installing brighter lighting can make a remarkable difference. Regular vision checks and proper footwear also support stability and mobility. Mental and emotional health deserve just as much attention as physical wellness. Social isolation is, unfortunately, a common challenge for many older adults, but it shouldn't be ignored. Meaningful connections with family, friends, or community groups, even if maintained by phone or online, can uplift spirits and help prevent depression and cognitive decline. Keeping the mind active, whether through reading, puzzles, learning new skills, volunteering, or simply engaging in stimulating conversations, supports cognitive health and creates joy. Sleep, often overlooked, is fundamentally important. It's a myth that older adults need much less sleep. Most still require about 7 to 8 hours a night. Sleep disturbances can point to underlying health problems, from pain to depression to sleep apnea. Creating a calming bedtime routine, keeping technology out of the sleeping area, and consulting with healthcare providers if frequent waking or insomnia occurs, all help maintain good rest and the energy needed for the day's activities. Medication management cannot be understated. As prescriptions accumulate, so does the risk of dangerous interactions or side effects. Those caring for the elderly, or the individuals themselves, should maintain an up-to-date list of medications, understand what each one is for, and review it regularly with a healthcare professional. Using a pill organizer and setting reminders can help minimize errors, and reporting any new symptoms or side effects promptly ensures that adverse reactions are caught early. Another key aspect that cannot be ignored is oral health. Teeth and gums often reflect overall health, and problems like decay or periodontal disease can lead to nutritional issues, pain, and even heart complications. Regular dental checkups and diligent hygiene practices, such as brushing, flossing, and using antiseptic mouthwash, are vitally important. Vision and hearing likewise demand ongoing attention. Regular eye exams can catch conditions like cataracts, glaucoma, or macular degeneration before they become advanced. Properly fitted hearing aids can vastly improve quality of life, allowing elders to stay engaged in conversations and remain aware of their surroundings. Chronic disease management is a daily reality for many seniors. Conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, arthritis, and heart disease tend to require a long-term, multifaceted approach. Adhering to treatment plans, monitoring symptoms, and making necessary lifestyle adjustments all contribute to better outcomes and a longer, more comfortable life. Personal hygiene and skincare often require more diligence too. Skin becomes thinner and more fragile with age, making it susceptible to injury and infection. Gentle cleansing, regular moisturizing, and promptly addressing any cuts or sores can help avoid complications. Hydration, surprisingly often neglected, is another essential. A decreased sense of thirst often accompanies aging, but regular intake of water remains crucial for kidney function, digestion, and overall vitality. Practical arrangements, such as having an up-to-date list of emergency contacts, advance directives, and an organised medication list, shouldn't be set aside. These safeguards ensure that, should the need arise, loved ones and healthcare professionals can make informed decisions swiftly. Last, but certainly not least, is the willingness to seek help. Pride and a desire for independence are natural, but declining to accept assistance can put an elder's safety and well-being at risk. Whether it's support with daily tasks, transportation, meal preparation, or medical appointments, reaching out and accepting help as needed enables them to maintain autonomy for longer and enhances overall quality of life. In summary, aging well is not just a matter of genetics or luck, but of conscious, continuous effort. It's about embracing preventive care, staying active, maintaining relationships, and being vigilant to the changes that come with time. By attending to these non-negotiable aspects of health, the elderly lay the foundation for not only a longer life, but a richer, more vibrant, and more independent one.